Question 1. Write down the letter of the shape that is a sphere. Sphere is a ball shape, so that is letter E. Write down the mathematical name of shape A. Shape A is a circle on the top and the bottom, extended between, that is a cylinder. How many faces does shape B have? Faces are the entire sides of the shape that make up the shape. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. How many edges does shape D have? Edges are the lines that draw the shape. So if we count up all the lines that draw the shape, that is 8 edges. Write down the number 507 in figures. There are no tens in this, so we need to put 507. 0 tens. Write down the value of 4 in the number 9,346. It is 4 tens. They will accept 40 for 40. Write 6,431 to the nearest thousand. This is not 500, which is halfway, so we'll leave it as 6,000. Question 3. Work out 50% of 86. 50% is the same as a half, so half of 86 is 43. Work out 3 add 5 times 2. Using BIDMAS, we must do the multiplication first. So that is 5 times 2 is 10. So 3 add 10 is 13. Write down an estimate for the square root of 60. The square root of 49 we know is 7. The square root of 64 we know is 8. This is closer to 64. So I would guess, estimate, around about 7.8. Question 4. Measure the size of the angle marked A. For this we need a protractor. We put the centre of the protractor at the corner of the shape. And we line that up as accurately as we can. We then need to read from 0 up. So 0, 10, 20, 30 is about 38 degrees. In the space below, draw a line of length 5 centimetres. For this we need a ruler. Again, we must be really accurate. So we need to start at 0 and go all the way along to 5 as accurately as you can. 5 centimetres. Question 5. The pictogram shows the number of tins of dog food sold in a shop on Monday, on Tuesday and on Wednesday last week. The key says that a circle represents 10 tins. That is really important. You must read the key first. On Thursday, 60 tins of dog food were sold in the shop. On Friday, 35 tins of dog food were sold in the shop. Use this information to complete the pictogram. For Thursday, each circle represents 10, so we need 6 circles. The circles must be lined up with those above it. 4, 5, 6. And for Friday, we need 3 circles for the 30. 1, 2, 3. And then half a circle would represent 5. 35. More tins of dog food were sold on Tuesday than on Monday. How many more tins? So on Monday, there were 30. And on Tuesday, there were 10, 20, 30, 40, 45. Now the question says how many more? So the answer is 15. You take these two away from each other, which is 15. Question 6. The table gives information about the temperatures in Reykjavik for 5 days, 1 week. Which day had the highest maximum temperature? The maximum temperature is this column, and the highest number is 8 on Tuesday. What is the lowest minimum temperature? This is a column for minimum temperature, and the lowest is -6, which is on Friday. Which day had the greatest difference between the maximum temperature and the minimum temperature? Max and min between 5 and 4 is 1 degree. Between 8 and 6 is 2 degrees. Between 6 and -2 is 8 degrees. Between -1 and -4 is 3 degrees. And -3 and -6 is also 3 degrees. So the answer is Wednesday. Question 7. Write down the fraction of this shape that is shaded. Give your fraction in its simplest form. This means to cancel it down. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 shaded squares, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 squares altogether. So it is 9 over 15 for 1 mark. You would then cancel that down by dividing both by 3. 3 3s in 9, 5 3s in 15, 3/5. Write 9/10 as a decimal. In decimals, the first digit stands for tenths, the second for hundreds, thousands, and so on. So this will just be 0.9. Tanya says that 75% is greater than 0.8. Is she right? 0.8 can be written as 0.8 or, which is 80%. 80% is bigger than 75%, so she's wrong. That would be a good explanation. Question 8a, shade 1 more square to make a pattern with 1 line of symmetry. The line of symmetry can go straight through the middle there, so this square here can be shaded to give that as a line of symmetry. You don't need to draw the line of symmetry on. Shade 1 more square to make a pattern with rotational symmetry of order 2. A Z shape will have order 2 rotational symmetry because when you turn that shape around through a full circle, it will look the same twice. Question 9. The probability scale shows the probability that a spinner will land on red. It also shows the probability that the spinner will land on blue. Tony says the spinner is more likely to land on blue than on red. Is he right? Probability of landing on red is a half. Probability of landing on blue is much less than that, around about 10%. So the answer is no, he's not right. Blue is lower on the scale than red. There are 3 white counters and 4 black counters in a box. Jenny is going to take at random a counter from the box. Write down the probability that Jenny will take a black counter. There are 4 blacks out of 7 altogether, so the answer is 4 out of 7. It is always best to write probability as a fraction if you have the choice. Write down the probability that Jenny will take a yellow counter. A yellow counter, there are no yellow counters in the box, so you are going to say 0 out of 7 or just 0. Here are ticket prices for entry to a museum. Adult tickets £12, child ticket £7, senior ticket £8. A family ticket for 2 adults and 2 children costs £30. Seamus takes his family to the museum. He gets tickets for 2 adults, 3 children and 1 senior. Seamus pays the least possible amount of money for the tickets. He pays with 3 £20 notes. How much change should he get? First of all, let's figure out what the cheapest way of getting the tickets is. If we pays for proper tickets, 2 times 12 is 24. 3 children at £7 each is 21. And 1 senior at £8. If we add those up, we get £53. Or he could buy a family ticket, which would give him the 2 adults and only 2 children. So he would need a family ticket plus 1 child at £7 plus 1 senior at £8. And if we add those up, that gives you £45. The cheapest way is to get a family ticket, a child and a senior. 3 £20 notes equals £60. So the change you should get is 60, take away 45, which is £15. Put on the answer line there, £15. Question 11. Write down the coordinates of the point P. You go along the corridor and up the drive, so the coordinates are 1, 2. Cross 1 and up 2 from the centre. Write down the coordinates of point R. Again from the centre, you don't go across at all, you just go straight down to -3. So it's 0 across and 3 down is -3. P, Q and R are three vertices or corners of a parallelogram. Write down the coordinates of the fourth vertex or corner of the parallelogram. If we join these three up already, there's two corners. We can do exactly the same with this one. And we can go there. So there's 3 across and 1 up. So if I go 3 across and 1 up there, it will give me the parallelogram that I'm after. The coordinates of the fourth vertex are 3 minus 2. Question 12. Here are the first 4 terms of a number sequence. Write down the next term in the sequence. It is going up by 4 each time. So if I add 4 onto that, I get 19. Explain how you got your answer. Add 4 to the previous number. Work out the difference between the 10th term and the 15th term of the sequence. For this, you will be better off working out the nth term rule. As it's going up by 4 each time, it will be 4n. This means it's linked to the 4 times tables. The first number in the 4 times tables is 4, ours is 3, so we need to take 1 off the 4 times tables. The 10th number will be 4 times 10, which is 40, take away 1 is 39. And the 15th number, 4 times 15 is 60, take away 1 is 59. The difference between these two is 20. Question 13. Simplify f, add f, add f, add f, take away f. Here there are 4 f's, take away an f is 3f. 2m times 3. If you've got 3 lots of 2m, you'll end up with 6 m's. Simplify this, you put the a's together. 3a add a is 4a. And 2h add 3h is 5h. With these questions, be careful if one of them is negative. Question 14. Here is part of a bus timetable from Harrow Lane to Cartbridge Street. A bus goes from Harrow Lane to Cartbridge Street. The bus leaves Harrow Lane at 8:02. At what time should the bus get to Cartbridge Street? The 8:02 bus is this one. From Harrow Lane to Cartbridge Street, it will arrive at 8:50. Here is part of a bus timetable from Cartbridge Street to Harrow Lane. This is the reverse from the one above. A bus goes from Cartbridge Street to Harrow Lane. This bus leaves Hampden Road at 13:29. Work out how many minutes this bus would take to go from Hampden Road to Elm Drive. Hampden Road at 13:29 is this bus. It gets to Elm Drive at 1:43. That is 14 minutes later. Peter lives in Harrow Lane. His grandmother lives in Swipe Crescent. Peter visits his grandmother. He goes by bus from Harrow Lane to Swipe Crescent. Peter wants to have at least 3 hours with his grandmother, and he needs to be back in Harrow Lane by 4 o'clock. Plan Peter's journey to visit his grandmother and get back to Harrow Lane. You must include times of the buses. For a question like this, it is better to work backwards. So if we look at the bus timetables, the latest time that the latest bus that he can get to get back for 4 o'clock is the 15:49 bus. The 15:49 bus will get him back to Swipe Crescent at 15:16. 3 hours before this is 12:16. If we look at the bus timetable from the first part of the question, the earliest bus that gets from Swipe Crescent is at 11:41. This bus is too late. He will need to catch that bus back to Harrow Lane at 11:02. These are the times of the buses that it will get there. We must, however, write something because it's an asterisk question. So, Peter will catch the 11:02 bus from Harrow Lane which arrives at Swipe Crescent at 11:41. To spend a minimum of 3 hours with his grandmother, he must catch the 15:16 bus back. So more than 3 hours later, means he will catch the 15:16 bus from his grandmother's house at Harrow Lane and he will arrive back at home at 15:49. This will get you the full 4 marks. Question 15. You can use the graph to change between pounds and dollars. Change £20 into dollars. If we go along the pounds axis to 20, up there, again, it is much better if you use a ruler and do this very accurately. I'm going to use a ruler to go across from here. To get this as accurate as I can. There are 10 squares between 30 and 40, which means that that is at $32. In London, Say-No headphones cost £60. In New York, Say-No headphones cost $100. Say-No headphones cost more in New York than in London. How much more? Well, £60, we know that £20 is $32. So if we times both of those by 3, we get that £60 is $96. The headphones therefore cost $4 more in New York. You could also do that in pounds, but since we've already worked this out, it's better to use this from the previous question. Question 16, work out 3 to the power 4. 3 to the power 4 means 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. 3 times 3 is 9, times 3 is 27, and 3 27s are 81. Write down the cube root of 64. Cube root is this sign, and it means what would you have to cube to get 64? Well, 4 times 4 is 16, and 16 times 4 is 64, so the answer is 4, because 4 cubed gives you 64. Question 17, solve y plus 5 equals 12. To solve this, we need to take 5 from both sides, so y must be 7. This means x divided by 4 is 3, so we times by 4, so x must be 12. This means 5 times w take away 6 is 10, so we're going to add 6 to get 5w must be 16. And then we're going to divide by 5. 16 divided by 5, you can just leave as a fraction like that, but that can be written as 3 1/5 or 3.2. Question 18. Jan recorded the ages in years of a sample of people at a fairground. He drew the stem and leaf diagram for his results. Write down the number of people in this sample. Each number represents a person. You can see that line 5 represents a 15-year-old. So there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 people in this survey. Write down the mode. That is the number that occurs the most. You can see that there are 4 7s in a row and there are no other numbers that have 4 in a row. So 1 and a 7 means 17. Work out the range. That is the biggest, which will be 55. Take away the smallest, which will be 15. That gives a range of 40. Question 19. Work out the value of y, give reasons for your answer. This is an isosceles triangle, so we know that these two angles must be the same, and we know that angles in a triangle add up to 180. So if we can work out this angle by using angles in a full circle, there's 200, and that little square in the corner means 90. 290 means that that must be 70. If this is 70, then that leaves 110 for both of these angles. So we're going to do 110 divided by 2 because there are 2 of them, which is 55. So each of these must be 55. So y equals 55. Now, I haven't given any reasons for my answer on the page yet. I would prefer to annotate these. So I would put to here, angles around a point add up to 360 degrees. That's 1 mark for one reason. And for this one, angles in a triangle add up to 180 degrees, and base angles in an isosceles triangle are equal. That will give you full marks. Question 20. Sophia buys 60 bags. She pays £3 for each bag. Sophia sells half the bags for £5 each, a third of the bags for £4 each, and she wants to make a total profit of £75. How much does she sell the remaining bags for? Well, the profit is how much money she makes on top of what she bought them for. So this first section tells us that 60 bags times £3 each means they cost £180 to buy. Half of the bags is 20. She sold at, it's 30. She sold at £5 each. So that is £150. A third of the bags is 20. She sold at £4 each. That is £80. So far, she has sold them for £230, meaning she's made a £50 profit. There are still 10 bags remaining. 30 times is 50, originally there were 60. And she wants to make £25 profit more. Currently she's made £50. She needs to make another £25. So each of these if we do 25 divided by the 10 bags, it needs to be £2.50 per bag. Question 21. Felicity asked 100 students how they came to school one day. Each student walked, or came by bicycle, or came by car. 49 of the 100 students were girls, 10 of the girls came by car, 16 boys walked, 21 of the 41 students who came by bicycle are boys. Work out the total number of students who walk to school. I find it better to write a two-way table out for this to organise what they've said. So we've got boys and girls that either walked, bicycled, or came by car. Now, we could put a total on the end. It says 49 of the 100 students are girls. So 49 of them are girls and there are 100 altogether. That means there must have been 51 boys. 10 of the girls came by car. 16 of the boys walked. 21 of the 41 students who came by bicycle are boys. So there are 41 students who came by bicycle and 21 of those were boys. That means that 20 must have been girls. We are after the total number of students who walk to school. So we are after this number here. So far, we can only work out this number here because it's the only one with one missing. 16 add 21 is 37. And we need a total of 51. That means that must be 14. If 14 boys came by car and 10 girls, that means there were 24 came by car. 41 and 24 gives me 65, which means that there must have been 35 pupils who walked. I don't need to work out that one, although I can work that out very easily. The answer is 35. The front elevation and the side elevation of a cuboid are drawn on the grid. On the grid, draw the plan of the cuboid. The plan means the view from above. This cuboid is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wide, and 1, 2, 3, 4 across. So I need to go 6 wide and 4 up. That can be drawn anywhere on the grid. Question 23. Here are the ingredients needed to make 16 gingerbread men. Hamish wants to make 24. It's really important that you look at the numbers and notice that half of 16 is 8, and we need 8 more. So if we half each of these, which is 90, 20, 55 and 15, then this is the amount needed for 16, this is the amount needed for 8. If we add these together, we'll get the amount needed for 24. So 180 add 90 is 270. 40 add 20 is 60. 110 add 55 is 165. And 30 add 15 is 45. Question 24. The scattergraph shows information about the height and the arm length of each of 8 students in year 11. What type of correlation does the scattergraph show? Correlation means you are going to say the type. So this will be either positive or negative. You can see that it is going up, so it will be positive. If it asks you to describe the relationship, you would say as the height increases, the arm length increases. But it's asking for the correlation, so it's positive. A different student in year 11 has a height of 148 centimetres. Estimate the arm length. There are 2 marks for this. The first mark is for drawing a line of best fit. So you roughly get half of the crosses on either side of the line and follow the pattern as best you can. It does not have to go through the centre. If we've got a height of 148, each square is worth 1. So 148 is there. And if we follow that up to the line and across, again, each square is 1. So that's 81, 82, 83, 84 centimetres. Here is a diagram of Jim's garden. Jim wants to cover his garden with grass seed to make a lawn. Grass seed is sold in bags. There is enough grass seed in each bag to cover 20 metres squared. Each bag costs $4.99. Work out the least cost of putting grass seed on Jim's garden. It tells us here that it comes in 20 metres squared per bag. That means we must work out the area of Jim's garden. The area of a trapezium is worked out by adding the base and the top together. So 12 add 18. And then averaging those 2 out. So dividing by 2. And times by the height between them, 9. 12 add 18 is 30. Divided by 2 is 15. Times that by 9. 15 times 9 is 135 metres squared. If we divide 135 by 20, which is the amount per bag, we'll get 6.75. But we need to buy full bags, so we'll need 7 bags. I will change that to an approximately equal sign. 7 bags. 7 bags at $4.99. I would change that to 7 times 5, which is £35, and then 7 lots of 1p is 7p, so it'd be 34.93. Question 26. Alison wants to find out how much time people spend reading books. She's going to use a questionnaire. Design a suitable question for Alison to use in her questionnaire. A question needs a time frame and also answer boxes. It is not a data collection sheet where you would tally up. So a suitable question would be, how many books it is asking for how much time you spend. So how much time do you spend reading books? And then the time frame can be suggested by you, so either per day, per week, etc. I'm going to put per week, question mark, as it's a question. You then need option boxes, and these must be all inclusive. So the first one could be 0 to 1 hours, 1 to 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours, and then 3 hours plus. The problem here is that anybody that says 1 hour doesn't know which box to tick. So you may want to put 1 hour and 1 minute, 2 hours and 1 minute, 3 hours and 1 minute. However, Edexcel often give you the full marks just for putting 0 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, and 3 plus. Question 7. The diagram shows a prism. Work out the volume of that prism. To work out the volume of a prism, we work out the area of the cross section, which is this shape here, and times it by how far back it goes, which is 10. This shape can be split into 2 rectangles. This one is 7 times 4, which is 28, and this one is 2 by 5. The full distance is 9, and that is 4, so this must be 5. 2 times 5 is 10. The cross section therefore has an area of 38 centimetres squared. 38 times by 10 is 380 centimetres cubed. There is a mark usually for centimetres cubed, however this time they've given it as on the answer line. Question 28. Here is a map. The map shows 2 towns, Burford and Hightown. A company is going to build a warehouse. The warehouse has to be less than 30 kilometres from Burford and less than 50 kilometres from Hightown. Shade the region on the map where the company can build the warehouse. 1 centimetre is 10 kilometres. So for this, for the 30 kilometres, we need to open our compass to 3 centimetres. So 30 kilometres from Burford, put the compass at Burford and draw a circle with 3 centimetres radius. We then need to open it to 5 centimetres, put it at Hightown. You can see this goes off the grid, but it doesn't matter, we can just go through around here. So to be less than 50 kilometres from Hightown and 30 kilometres from Burford, we must be in this region here. It's really important you shade that region in. Question 29. Talil is going to make some concrete mix. He needs to mix cement, sand and gravel in the ratio 1 to 3 to 5 by weight. Talil wants to make 180 kilograms of concrete mix. He already has 15 kilograms of cement, 85 kilograms of sand, 100 kilograms of gravel. We first of all need to figure out how much he actually needs rather than what he's actually got. So 1 to 3 to 5 gives us 9 parts. 180 divided by 9 gives us 20. So each part is worth 20. So he needs 20 kilograms of cement, 60 kilograms of sand, and 100 kilograms of gravel. 1 times 20, 3 times 20, and 5 times 20. You can see that he only has 15 kilograms of cement, so that's not enough. He has more than enough sand, and he has exactly the right amount of gravel. So does he have enough cement, sand and gravel? The answer is no, he does not have enough cement. Full marks. And that's the end of the paper.